Okay, so I just want to say that I want to make it a thing that we need to just normalize wearing glasses with no other purpose than just as an accessory.
Why is that?
Because I feel like I need to defend myself because people are going to be like, okay, but does Alia actually need those glasses? Like I wore...
Nobody thinks that. You think that.
No. The other day, I met up with someone and I felt like she was judging me. Because I had my glasses on and she knows that I don't wear glasses or I don't need glasses or wear contacts, right?
Okay.
And then I was like wearing it's not these ones, it's the other ones that I have that are like blue light lenses. These ones are actually just clear lenses.
Okay.
And
they make them for a reason. You know that, right?
Which ones?
Clear glasses, blue light glasses, even...
Yeah, I know. But blue light glasses, technically, it's like you don't need to wear those if you're not like in front of a screen, if you're just out and about. So I was wearing them out and about in the city, you know, and at one point she's like, are those prescription?
Who are you talking about? Alia, you guys, this is the thing with Alia. Anything she says is directly towards somebody specific.
I mean, the funny thing is, if she listens to this, she knows that I'm talking about her. But it's not like a bad thing. I just think it's funny that like she asked me that because I was like, damn, so is it really a thing? Because I was already feeling like I hope nobody is thinking if you know me and you know that I don't wear glasses and now I'm like wearing frames just because like I think it's like a fun accessory.
No, I know exactly what happened with you. On the last episode, you wore frames and everybody in the comments was like, Alia, you look so freaking good.
Which I really appreciated.
Yes.
Because it's a look that I'm trying out and I'm really vibing with it.
And you guys, after this episode, she went and bought 10 frames.
No, that's not true. I actually already had those frames. But I don't know. I feel like we need to normalize just wearing glasses because why not?
I mean, why not?
Like it's a fun accessory. It's like I don't always wear, like, why wear a hat inside if it's like not, if you're not outside? It's like a hat was made so that the sun is like blocked from your face.
Are you coming at me right now?
Wait, actually, no. Why wearing a hat? It's backwards. It makes no sense. You know what I'm saying?
I think...
but I think glasses are not there yet. Like, glasses are not where hats have come.
Okay, I mean, the thing with glasses, that if I want to wear glasses, like clear glasses like you, and I don't need anything specifically for my eyes, I wouldn't feel like I have to explain myself to anybody.
Really? Okay, that's good.
Why do you think that?
I don't know.
Anyways, on the next episode, you guys will see me with my special pair.
He's gonna get also.
I'm trying to think. I know what color I want to get.
You gotta. It's not so much about the color; it's more about the frame shape.
Yeah, but for me, it's about the color.
Okay, well, you'll see when we go in store.
Yeah. Anyways, welcome back to the What's the Juice podcast. My name is Yoni Koto, and I have my lovely host today.
Hello, everybody. My name is Alia Zaitza. Welcome back to the show.
Okay.
We have a short and sweet episode for you guys.
Short
today.
and sweet. We're gonna try to keep it at 15, 20.
No, not that short. Like 30 minutes. 30 minutes is good.
Watch us do an hour on
Yeah,
this.
I mean, that's what we always do. We're like, oh, you know, because somehow, before we get into it.
Can I please make sure that can I make sure that we're recording?
You definitely started recording. But yeah, go ahead. I'll continue talking.
Okay.
So let me tell you that for some reason, somehow, ever since we've been in New York, we've had a really hard time like recording simply because there's so much going on. There's so many other things that we're doing, and we love the podcast.
People already know that. What are you saying?
We love the podcast, but somehow we always end up recording hella late in the evening. Like right now, it's actually not even that late. It's not even the latest it's ever been. It's like 9:20 p.m. But we could have recorded when we got home. That was at like 5:30 p.m. But we didn't. We did a bunch of other random shit for no reason.
I don't think it was random. We went out to eat.
I mean, yeah, I'm saying when
great.
we got home after we ate.
You got home at 5?
Yeah. Yeah, we got home at 5:30. I remember looking at the clock and I was like, damn, we got so much time. And look, we are here now.
Okay, well, we are here now. So
we are here now. So
exactly.
Today, what are we talking about?
Oh, you know, this is something that I've been excited for this episode.
Why is that?
I wanted to do this like last year. Remember, it's been on the list for a long, long time.
Yeah, it has been on the list for a while.
Happy wife, happy life. Now, when you're looking at this title, I don't know what people think. I feel like, do you think it's self-explanatory?
Well, I think it's a saying that I'm sure most people are familiar with.
Happy wife, happy life.
If you, I think it's more common. Like, I don't know if there's any other like translations in other languages.
How would you say it in Romanian?
Nevastă fericită, viață fericită.
Nevastă ferice, neviață. No, say it again.
Nevastă fericită.
Nevastă fericită. Oh, wow. I messed that up.
Viață fericită.
Viață fericită.
Okay.
Yo,
Nice.
there's so many. Romanian, this is the last thing I want to say, and then we can jump into the episode, okay? Romanian is the cutest language I've ever heard in my life. Because there's always chi, umchi. The whole language is like that.
I never really paid attention to it before until I had to tell you how to say things and then realize how many because we have a lot of like chi
It's so yeah, I really like it. That's my goal. Like I want my kids to like speak French, English, and Romanian.
Yeah, because you know so many languages, we gotta choose like one.
We gotta choose one. Yeah,
And
we can't do all 10 of mine.
Yeah.
We gotta.
But anyways, we keep going off. So anyways, what I meant to say is that I don't know how many, like if there's any other languages that have the same saying, probably something similar. But basically, if you don't know, this is a very popular saying in America and I'm sure other countries where happy wife, happy life. That's something that I would say men typically say in a situation where you as a couple, a married couple,
you have to be married because it doesn't apply to people who are not married.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that they've used it before, like in the same sense of how the woman, girlfriend, wife in a relationship.
We're not doing no woman shit again. Please, okay?
Well, no, it's happy wife, happy life. And it's usually that talks about a heterosexual relationship.
Be careful now.
And it basically means that, you know, as long as the wife is happy, everybody's happy. And more specifically, is the husband saying that. So as long as the wife is happy, I'm good. Mm-hmm. And that the husband usually says that saying in a situation where there has to be a decision made or there's a debate about like where to go eat, and what furniture to buy.
Exactly.
Just stupid little shit like that.
Stupid little shit like that, right?
Okay.
So with me, I feel like I found myself saying that a lot because one, I'm just okay with that.
Okay, what's like a lot though?
So no, I say that a lot. It may not be like out loud, but in my head, I say it a lot. Okay.
Okay.
And so it has to be a certain type of man that is okay with that. Because a lot of men are not
okay with what?
With the whole happy wife, happy life. Like it doesn't necessarily. Basically, what it means to me is that, right? I'm just going to give an example before I get into like the other stuff, right?
Okay.
If we want to go somewhere, right? So before we moved to New York, anytime we would visit, I'm just picking New York as an example, right?
Yeah, right.
Usually Alia, naturally, she's just the planner of the family. Okay.
True.
She has the whole planner. The day
Itinerary.
the day before we go to bed, she has like a list and she has it like almost by the hour to like, you know, okay, not by the hour, but you know, like one after the other.
I'm very organized.
Exactly. Very, very organized. Too organized. Okay. For me. And usually, yes, I'm not saying that she doesn't ask me what I want to do at all, because you do that. Mm-hmm. You do ask me. But I would maybe, out of the 20 things of the trip that we want to do, I would maybe choose like 2 things.
Okay.
I just want to go here so I can take a couple photos and I want to go see that thing. I'm not really like a museum kind of guy. If I'm going to a new city, I don't care about the museum.
Okay, I'm most often like am more into the food spots that I want to go to.
Exactly. So most of the time, I'm just okay with whatever Alia has on the side, on the list. And I will say she has good taste. So that's why it's also working out for us. Okay?
Okay. I feel like we need a different scenario though. Like what about a scenario...
if you want to go somewhere, if you want to go to if you want to go to a store specifically, we go to a lot of stores for you, be honest.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, we go to a lot of stores that you want to go see, and we never go to any stores that I want to go see.
Okay, so listen, the reason why actually, let's dive into this specific thing right here that you just opened. So today, right, we went and we got some food. We went to Katz's Deli. If you don't know, that's like an iconic institution in New York City with pastrami sandwiches, fire, really good.
Iconic institution. Can't you just say iconic restaurant? Because when I think of
Well,
institution,
because it's like
I think like some school. So it's,
I guess, yeah, I don't know. I just think it's like just a New York City institution. Like the place is just so iconic that it's an institution. Anyways, beside the point.
God.
So we go there, we have our pastrami sandwich, we have our beer, all the good stuff, our pickles, so good. End up meeting some people there. Anyways, and then we leave. And then on the way home, we were walking on Houston and we walked by. Oh, I was like, oh, babe, we don't have any bread at home. And like, we haven't had bread for a few days.
Thanks for bringing that up. Okay.
So let's, should we stop at Whole Foods on the way home to just grab some? What did you say?
I'm going to stop you right there. I said, babe, it's really cold. We just ate. I'm already full.
True.
The last thing I want to do is go get more food after we just ate.
Okay, but all I said is, let's go get some bread. Because for breakfast, we don't have any bread.
My brain doesn't function like that.
And also, it's not like you have to stay outside to go get the bread. We're outside. Yes, it's windy and cold, but then we're going to go in a store to grab it. And it's on the way.
My whole thing was I want to get home as soon as possible.
Fair enough.
So she was like,
trying to basically justify that.
No, but we should go because tomorrow morning when we wake up, I don't want to go outside and figure out what to do for breakfast. So let's just go now. And I really didn't want to go. But I was like, all right, fine, let's just go. So then I don't deal with, and I'm not saying I'm dealing with attitude, but I was just like, let's just go. Fine.
But in your head,
in my head, I was just like, fuck, I'm just trying to go home.
Okay, but why did you still say fine? Why didn't you stand on your shit?
I said fine because if we didn't go, tomorrow morning you would wake up and then you would say, see, if we went last night, we wouldn't have to deal with this shit now because right now we don't have anything to eat.
Look who thinks ahead.
I think ahead. So I was like, okay, cool, let's go. Because realistically, it is a smart thing to do. But in the moment, I just really didn't want to go.
Yeah. No,
but then I
get it.
said, okay, fine, let's go. So now we're walking towards the Whole Foods, right? And it's like cold. Like the wind is blowing on your face.
Yeah, it was like not cute.
Like that.
So we basically didn't end up going because I also was like, you know what, babe, like fuck
Hold on
it.
a second. Don't just breeze over that. So we get closer to we get closer to Whole Foods and then you were like, you know what? Let's just go home. And then something crossed my mind. I was like, so just because you said okay, we can go home is when it's okay for us to go home.
Hold on, wait, what? No, what?
Yeah.
I said, let's go get the bread. You said, oh, babe, but it's cold. Then I just said again, yeah, but it would be nice to just have the bread for which would be nice tomorrow morning to wake up and know that we have bread to make breakfast and I don't have to go downstairs to get bread in the morning, right?
Okay.
And then you said, okay, yeah, let's go. Even though you didn't really want to, but you just said, yeah, because you didn't, I guess... I thought you said yeah because you were like, yeah, it would be nice to get some bread for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Now you said yeah so you can avoid me saying some shit about it tomorrow morning.
Okay. And then we get
closer to the store and I was like thinking about how we got to go in this end, but then we go through the whole store to check out and then have to go. And I was like, you know what? I thought back and I was like, you know what? You are right. It's like a lot. So then I said, okay, let's just go. Because you already didn't want to go. And I was like, yeah, I kind of don't want to go either. So
that was what I was thinking about.
So what's the
whole
problem?
Process. No, so now I'm saying that after basically what I'm saying is that when I said that I didn't want to go, it was like, oh, yeah, but and then when you say that you didn't want to go, it was like, okay, we're not going. You get what I'm saying?
Well, you didn't want to go, right?
Okay, cool. Can we should move on from
No,
that.
because I feel like we're going to move on from it. But if you're listening to this and if you're watching it on YouTube, like comment below if you understand what Yoni is saying. Because I get your point, but I don't think this is a scenario where it makes sense.
Okay, well, maybe
because it would make sense if you then had a different scenario in which you wanted to go somewhere and I said, I don't want to go because I'm tired, blah, blah, blah. And you said, no, let's still go. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was like the flipped scenario to go to a different place, except you're the one that wants to go and I'm the one that doesn't want to go.
Yeah.
And we end up not going because I said no. So it's like whatever I say goes.
Yeah.
But in this scenario, I just said, no, let's not go, because I also knew you didn't want to go.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, let's just not go. Fuck it.
I think it got a little bit confusing. We should move on to the next one.
Anyways, and then on the way home, still there was a store that we were walking by, and I was like, "Oh damn! Actually, I've been meaning to go to this place," and it was on the way home. Still,
we walked right by it.
And I've walked by so many times, and they have this specific hat that I wanted to try on for size because I was thinking about getting it. So I was like, "Can we just go in here real quick? I want to try on this hat." What do you say?
And what did I say? I said I didn't want to go in there, but I was like, "Yeah, sure." So then we went in. I looked around as well. They had a couple nice things. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Try my shit on. Yeah. Didn't buy anything.
And then we left, right?
Right. And then next to that store.
It's still cold. And all I'm thinking about is getting home. The very next door, Alia looks at me. She's like, can we go in here too? And what did I say?
You were like...
I was like, yeah, sure. I'm trying to go home. So then we get in there, and then you ended up buying a scarf and some gloves. Very nice.
Yeah, which that's very something nice. That I also meant to go to that store too, like many times before.
There's a lot of stores you've been meaning to go to.
Okay, and it was on the way home. I wasn't like, oh, let's go, like, take the subway and
But there's
whatever.
Something about constantly stopping on the way home. That means that basically just because it's on the way, we can stop at every single store on the street.
No, it doesn't mean that. But I also think I'm basically bringing this up because then after we stopped for all of my stores, right? My 2 stores. And then the Whole Foods that I proposed we stop at. And then I actually said, never mind.
So that's 3 different spots in a...
Okay, but we didn't go to Whole Foods.
Okay, yeah.
After that, then what did you say?
I said, there's this store I really want to go to. You mind if you go there? And then you looked at me, you were like, nah, you're joking. Because you were so shook.
Because,
that I wanted to go somewhere.
No. Because the store that Yoni proposed we go to is a store that, truthfully, you've been trying to go to for a long time.
A very long time.
Okay.
Ever since we got to New York.
Which nothing stops you. I go to plenty of stores all on my own. Okay. So nothing stops you to go to that store. So don't put it all on me that you haven't been there yet.
I'm not putting everything on you. I'm putting like 70% on you.
No, that's not fair. The store that Yoni wants us to go to is a vintage store, like a vintage thrift store place that is in Midtown that will require us to take the subway, which like is not a bad thing. But for some reason, that Yoni does this thing where he proposes us to do stuff in the most inconvenient time. When it's like, we either have to, it's like you were cold, right? You couldn't wait to go home. So why would you propose to like go somewhere that is so inconvenient when the only reason why we stopped at those other places is because they were on the way, which for me equals to not inconvenient.
There's been many times where we were in Midtown and the place was a couple blocks away, and I feel like we still just never made it there. And the reason why I want you to go with me is because I feel like we can find some really, really cool shirts for you as well.
Okay.
So the whole time, secretly, I'm trying to get you some fry shit.
Okay. I mean, okay. So basically why we're telling the story is because why?
It's because happy wife, happy life to me, it means that, and I don't know, obviously it's kind of, it's not like a very serious topic.
No, and it doesn't have to be.
But it's basically with me how I'm just happy to be. I just happen to be okay with. I'm very easygoing. If I was, for example, I'm not saying you're not easygoing, Ali, but if we were exactly the same,
nothing would get done.
Nothing would get done once, and then also too, I feel like we would have a lot of fights because we will bump heads so many times.
If we're both like you.
No.
If we're both like me.
Yeah.
Oh, if we're both like me, yes, yeah. We would totally bump heads. But if we were both like you, I feel like we just would never decide on shit.
Yeah, we would never decide on shit, ever.
Yeah.
So
it's good that we are the way that we are.
No, it is good. And this episode is not her coming at me or me coming at her. But I'm really just trying to, this whole concept of if my wife is happy,
life is good.
Because I'm very not picky. That's the thing.
I think basically,
So if you want to go somewhere, I'm cool with it. And there's not, when we go somewhere new, there's really not a lot of places I want to go visit specifically, like stores or landmarks. Me, like, let's say we've never been to Chicago together, right? So if we ever go to Chicago, what I enjoy from traveling is just going to an area in the city and just walking around. Alia,
I like to have destinations.
she needs to have a destination. Like, I would say, let's just go downtown and walk from street 1 to street 100 and see what's going on. That's how I would do
I'm
it.
like, what street are we walking on?
Alice, she's like, yeah, but
we could be walking on the wrong street, but there's nothing going on.
Exactly. But that's how that's how we would differ, in that. But I do appreciate the way you are with planning things, because you do a lot of research and you do put in, a lot of time into figuring out places to go. And I just roll with it. But I just know that maybe I need to be more like.
So can I say something?
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So I feel like there's two sides to this. One is that, in a way, the reason why, basically the point of this conversation is the phrase "happy wife, happy life" valid? Is it actually true that as long as the other partner sacrifices what they wish to do, which means that then the wife will be happy, everything will be good? And is that right? Is that good? I would say that question does not have an answer, because it truly depends on the relationship. Because if we were flipped and I, the wife, was the way that you are, and you, the husband, were the way that I am, in terms of like caring about getting certain things or doing certain things in a certain way, versus the other person is easygoing, they don't care that much, then it would be flipped. And that,
how would that be?
No, so it's like, if I was easygoing, I didn't care where we were going or whatever, and then you were the one that was like the planner, and you were the one that was very specific on what you wanted to do, and blah, 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 then happy wife, happy life doesn't work, because you're not the wife, you're the husband.
But I think the reason why it's happy wife, happy life, because most of the time, this is how it just happens to be. I don't know. And I'm not trying to stir up no
generalization.
Yeah, I'm not doing anything like that. But I'm just thinking from my observation of my life.
Okay.
The husband is like, hey, if my wife wants to do it.
Basically, the husband is always compromising, and the wife always gets what she wants.
And, if she's happy, we're good with that. I don't know if you guys are listening, if you agree with that or not. I'm not even saying this is the right thing, but this is how I've kind of heard even old people. Like, I've seen a video on YouTube the other day, and this guy was asking a couple, he was asking the husband, what's the key to a happy, long relationship? And then the husband was like, they're both like in their 80s or something, right?
Yeah.
And then the husband was like, maybe 70s. He said, happy wife, happy life. And he said, not exactly like that, but basically he said, whatever she wants, if basically if we do whatever she wants,
we'll be good.
Yeah, you'll have a long relationship.
Would you say that's, I mean, I don't want to.
And she didn't say that about him. She didn't say if we do whatever he wants.
But I think that it would be interesting to then learn a little bit more about like how they are. Because I feel like if the wife is easygoing and doesn't really like care, like, is it that women in general are a little bit more like, what is it? Like,
demanding?
Not opinionate. No. More like just not set in their ways, but they're more sure of like what they want to do, or I don't know what, like, the word isn't coming to me.
It seems to me that, and again, I'm not trying to stir up the pot here, but do men compromise things in relationships as far as things they want to do? Do men compromise more than women?
I would say,
like, just naturally, biologically, or whatever. Are we more?
I think it's definitely a social thing. It's like something that you do. It's like a learned behavior that you do, and it's like a role that you kind of like play into your relationship. So that's the thing that I wanted to say earlier, that it's like the second part to it is that I feel like because we are the way that we are, as we explained, you're easygoing, I'm more stubborn in what I want to do, it works. The happy wife, happy life thing works.
But
and
you
I'm
know,
1 second.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm aware of that. I'm aware that most of the time I'm going to get what I want.
That's fucked up.
No, hold on.
Okay.
Most of the time I know that you don't really care that much where we go eat. As long as I assure you that there will be a big bowl of something.
The thing is,
You know
as long,
like it's not that I'm being selfish. I still very much care about where we go. I make sure that there's something at that place where we go eat or something of interest where we're going to you as well. I make sure that the place we're going to has a big bowl of rice or of pasta.
Can you explain to people
something.
why you keep saying the big bowl of something? Because I feel like they're like, let me explain it.
Yeah, you explain.
I don't like going to restaurants where there's a bunch of little plates and little bites. I hate bites. If you're listening, if you ever want to take me out to a restaurant, if we go somewhere and there's just like a bunch of little bites, I don't care how unlimited it is. I don't care if I could get a million little bites. I don't like it. Give me one bowl of rice and something and just mix it all up together. I love that shit.
Yeah, Yoni loves that. So when I'm like making these decisions about whatever it is, I always keep you in mind.
Okay.
So in that way, I'm not selfish. Like I'm not like trying to
selfish.
choose some shit just for myself.
And I'm not even saying that you're selfish, but let me ask you something.
What?
Does that put a little bit, do you feel like it puts pressure on you?
It puts pressure on me because I know since it always ends up, like we've gotten into this relationship pattern where it's like, I'm the one that chooses most of the activities we do, like places we go, whatever. One, because I care more about it than you.
You can't say you care more about it because I also care.
Okay, but I care more about like finding new places to go, like what's happening in the city.
You naturally do that.
Yeah. And I think it's okay to say, I think that I care more about those things than you do.
Okay.
And I just think that in general, it's like you are much more easygoing. Like I'll ask you, I'm like, hey, what do you want to eat? Do you want this? Do you want this? And you're like, babe, honestly, like I don't really care. Like, so how many times it's gone to the point where like I give you the option to choose and you still make me choose?
I think I'm really bad with, I mean, I know we're kind of like stuck on food stuff, but this is like most of the decisions that we make.
Well, I wish that I could think of like a different scenario in which, because there are scenarios where I can feel that you are compromising.
When do you feel like I'm compromising?
When we are making a decision on something to do. We're making a decision on like something to do or somewhere to go or basically something in which we both will take part in.
Let me say something and you're not going to like it.
Okay.
And you might, I don't know. But if we go somewhere that you really wanted to go to and I wasn't particularly like excited about it as much as you, I would still go. Right? Hold on a second. That's not even it. There's nothing to.
Okay.
And we're going, and I'm just like, yeah, cool. We can go. And I know inside that I
didn't really want to go.
But I don't always tell you necessarily.
No, you usually tell me.
No, but you don't even know the amount of times I didn't tell you. But
okay.
But it's okay because for some reason, like if we're going on vacation and and we're going somewhere and you're just really excited to be there and you're happy to be, I'm happy. No, honestly, I'm just thinking, and it's not it kind of comes off as like, I don't care about anything in a way.
No,
but I care about if you're happy with what we're seeing and what we're doing, I'm going to find my joy within that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But here's the flip side, okay? This is going to be the curveball right here.
Okay.
When we end up somehow, some way going to wherever Yoni wants to go, I can sense that you don't want to be there.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that. And and that's just something I've noticed. Can
Okay.
you co-sign? Like, what do you have to say about
can
that?
I co-sign?
Yeah.
I mean, I would say like the first thing that comes to mind is like if we go to
We went to
we,
Venice Beach. We went to Venice Beach. I really wanted to go to Venice Beach.
that was years ago.
That was years ago. We went to Venice Beach, and I love Venice Beach. The skating, the basketball, the beach, everything is just beautiful there to me. Okay, I love that place. We went. Ali hates Venice Beach. Venice Beach. Wow, she hates that place. And
Hate is a
and she let
strong
me
word.
know. Like, maybe not necessarily with words. She did that eventually. Later on, she was like, okay, let's get the fuck out of here. But I could tell her energy. I think that day we were carrying bags.
It was gloomy.
It was gloomy. It wasn't
was
rainy. It was gloomy, but people were
windy.
outside.
Yeah. And also Venice Beach, like I personally, I just don't love being in like areas and places where there's a lot of like cheap shop vibes. Cause you know, like when you're walking on the
I
boardwalk
love that
and there's like so many like souvenir-y, cheap,
It wasn't
plasticky.
there's
like,
a lot of tie-dye shirts. There's a lot of like that kind of stuff, right? The stores, a lot of
Yeah.
handmade stuff, some artists
no, there
painting.
wasn't that many handmade stuff.
There's a lot of just people selling their artwork on the side, and it feels very just, whether they have a lot of money or not doesn't matter. They're just out here living. This is their life, and they're trying to sell you a print that they made, right?
Yeah.
And when I see that, it's so inspiring to me. I'm like, wow, this
But
is what this person is, and he's over there painting with no shirt on, and he's just doing his thing.
okay, but maybe there was like one guy like that. Most
And
of the
Alia
other
walks
stuff is
around-
not like that cute romantic vibe. I'm sorry.
It's not okay. I made it sound.
You made it sound like it's like a hippie, like cool, vibe. It's like maybe 2-3 people are like doing that. It's like, oh, it's so nice. Like they're like selling their thing that they made cool. But most of the other shit, like most of that is not that.
And I get exactly what you don't like about it. But my point is, the reason why I bring this up is that
Yeah, I remember exactly the day you're talking about.
I really want to, and I have a picture. Like, I want to post, I have pictures of that day. And you could see, oh my God. And on top of that, I asked Ali, I said, hey babe, can you please take a picture of me? Because I was maybe at the beach or somewhere. It was like a nice background. And that is the last thing you want to ask someone. If they're already not happy to be there, and then you're like, can you take a picture of me? That's like the worst combination.
Yeah.
And I think I took a photo of you taking the picture for me, and I'll show it to you. I don't know if you.
I don't remember it.
I don't know if I'll post it on my story, but
We should.
We can see on your face how you did not want to be there. And now,
guys, when I tell you, like, I truly, truly, truly was not enjoying myself.
Okay, and
and then after that, we ended up going to the skate park.
Yes, and she found a little
and
joy
I finally got into it because I was like, I've never seen people like skate like that. It was
it
like
cool?
a whole thing. It was cool.
What did you like about it?
No, because I've never really seen like skaters skate like that.
Yeah.
In real life. And it was like competitive and like there was like a vibe going on. So that part of it was cool. And that was like, I found a silver lining in the whole thing.
And I want to tie it all back together too. Do you think that we can do a better job at not showing each other? If we are compromising, it's important to not necessarily show it and just like, I guess we should go. Like, when you compromise, don't even tell me that you're compromising. Just
compromise.
Just compromise.
That sounds fucked up.
No, but you get what I'm saying is, I don't know if that's like fucked up for me to say.
No. I understand your point, especially because I lived through that specific scenario and other scenarios where I will 100% take responsibility that I definitely I definitely have a hard time masking when I'm not having a good time or when I'm not enjoying myself. Yeah.
Yeah. And in a relationship, I think, just for anybody out there, if you're listening and you're working on your relationship, or maybe it's already great, I think this is something very important. If you are compromising for your partner, don't let him know that you compromise, or don't show him that. Sometimes it's because you are in a partnership. It's not all about you. So when you guys go somewhere together and he wants to do something, I'm speaking specifically for the women. Actually, no, not even. I'm speaking for everyone. Don't show it. You don't have to. What's the point? You know, because clearly this person wants to go there.
Yeah.
And
no.
let's say it happens to be the person who doesn't choose a lot of things, whether it's his choice or not.
Yeah.
So if there's this one thing that he's like, babe, can we just go here? It's like, out of 100, give me one. And if you are compromising, just like, can you not show it to me that you are? Because then it feels shitty for me.
And totally valid, and I'm going to take that feedback because we actually never really talked about this before.
Yeah, I mean, this is like a little therapy session.
But I will take that in and keep it in my mind for the future, for the next time I compromise.
Okay, yeah, we'll let you guys know how it goes.
But I want to just like make a little footnote in that specific
footnote.
Yeah, and that specific thing. A footnote is like, you know, when you put an asterisk at like a word,
I know what that means.
You go at the bottom.
Footnote just sounded weird.
Note. Okay, anyways, to basically see like more in depth about. So what I was going to say is that the other side to this statement is that like if you're in a relationship where...
What statement?
The happy wife, happy life.
Mm-hmm.
That if you are in a relationship where like, let's say this applies like... It's a behavioral trend that one partner always gets their ways and then the other one doesn't because of whatever reasons. But let's say especially in this scenario where like most of the time, as I said, like I care more about the places that I go. You're more willing to, let's say in the times when you're not compromising and you're just kind of like, yeah, I'm okay with whatever. We end up choosing where I want to go. You know? I would say because that happens, we've been together for 5 years. We've been married for 2. So we've been together for a long time and we've kind of, this is like a behavioral pattern that we've fallen into in a way, knowingly. And then now it's like because time and time again, and this is not an excuse, but time and time again, we've like, I've gotten used to basically getting what I want. I've gotten used to like what, and I really, this is not for me to like sound fucked up. Maybe someone's listening to this and it's like, she sounds so like, oh, this relationship is toxic. It's not that at all. But
no, it's not.
No, it's not. But I want to just say like, I think that because I am used to getting that reward when I ask for it, in simple terms, is like whenever I want to go to this place or wherever, I'm like, oh, let's go get a coffee. And then whatever it is, I usually end up going with my decision and we end up going to where I want. So because this happens more often than the opposite, where I don't get to go where I want, when that scenario does occur, it's like a big deal to me. Because I feel it to my core and I'm not used to having to compromise. Because most of the time you don't care enough for me to have to compromise.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's like maybe not us having a whole therapy session right now, but I think that's maybe something that like I have to exercise to be more, to get more comfortable and more accustomed to being in that space of compromise.
Yeah.
To being in that, because I know that I can literally feel that feeling.
No, I know you can.
Of like being, it could even be us going to Yoni's vintage shop that he's been saying that he wants to go to. And clearly he wants me to go with him. But every time it's always like, oh, but we just went to, or
Alia puts that store on, it's like last priority.
I mean, to be fair, you've wanted to go to that store so many times. Like, there's many stores that I wanted to go to that I just went by myself because I wanted to go. I wasn't necessarily trying to go with you.
Okay. But that has nothing, that's like way besides the point.
How?
Because
you're putting it on me that it's like you haven't been in that store because of me. You could have gone if you really, really want to go to that store. You can go.
It's true. But I think we made our point with that.
Yeah. Basically, I think...
and also
in my scenario, I just have to practice being in that uncomfortable like space where I'm like, we're not doing the thing that I wanted to do, and like this sucks. But because I don't get to be in that space very often, I don't get to practice what you just said.
We're gonna practice it from now on. I'm gonna be more assertive with things starting like tomorrow, so I know where we're going for breakfast tomorrow.
Okay.
And also I just want to say that this relationship is not toxic. Someone might see, there's some people who like they will watch an episode and then they would be like, I see something there.
Red flag.
Yeah, like red flag, whatever. No, this is not, because all of the things that we like, all of the compromises that we make, anytime we went anywhere that Alia wanted to go, a lot of the times it's also because I didn't know what I wanted. So
guys, you know how many times I'm like, okay, what do you want? Do you want Thai food? Do you want Korean food? Do you want burger?
So
do you want? And he's like, I don't know, you choose.
When I don't, so see that right there? That's not compromise just because we went to where Alia wanted to go. That's not it. I'm talking about specifically the few spot or a few examples that we gave.
But what I was gonna say, that even in those scenarios where I'm like, I give you all the options and then you don't choose, and then we go to the place that I chose, that is like, even though you're not compromising in that moment because you actually didn't care, I got to go where I wanted. So it's like adding to, we're going where I want.
Yeah.
And that happens so often that the other one doesn't.
When we say it happens so often, it may come off as, why can't Yoni get some say? Like, I don't.
It's not that you don't get a say. It's that you were like, I don't really care where we go.
And I don't. Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't really care. Like I don't know why.
Today.
I don't know why I'm like this. I really don't be. If I'm not cold, and this is another thing. This is another thing. Alia, oh my, I feel like there's the most compromising right here.
Oh my God.
As you guys know,
I already know what this is.
As you guys know, Alia is a YouTuber. She makes YouTube videos, amazing videos. If you don't follow her channel, please go right now. But a lot of the times when you get some food somewhere and we get a lot of food out and, she's filming and stuff like that, it could be really cold outside, but the lighting outside,
it's just terrible inside, so we have to film outside.
Yeah, so we have to film outside. So, I hate being cold, one.
Guys,
and then two.
If there's one thing that Yoni really, really, really hates, and Yoni's like, as you can tell from this episode, he's easygoing, he's chill, he goes with the flow, he doesn't have a lot of things that get to him. But I swear to God, I've never met someone in my life that is so affected from the cold. If Yoni is cold, he's like a totally different person.
I'm a totally different person. But if I'm cold and I'm on the way somewhere, cool. I'm on my way to be warm. I'm on my way to like get better, to get help, right? But with Alia, we get food and I'm like, oh, wow. Like as soon as we get in the restaurant, I'm like, wow, it's so cozy in here. We're about to eat. And then I remember, oh shit, we have to film. That means that all of these cozy thoughts that I had, out the window, literally.
Yeah.
We go outside and we find like a chair and then we're sitting outside and I'm literally like sitting like this.
Like it's
in the worst mood ever. And Alice, she's like filming.
Which to be fair, it's my job.
I get it. So
and it makes all the difference. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
The lighting makes all the difference.
But I get it. That's why we do it every time. But I have to just like, oh, damn. I really like.
That
it's
is
almost
a big compromise.
It's almost like whenever you're done filming, I almost want to be like, okay, can we go inside now?
Yeah.
Because
we have done that before.
We have done that because eating and I get to take my jacket off and it's kind of like warm inside, especially in the winter days, like especially when it's cold out.
Yeah.
I enjoy my meal so much more. I hate eating outside when my hands are freezing and I gotta hold the sandwich. I can't even feel the sandwich. Like, but yeah.
Yeah.
So these are just things that this is why we call this happy wife, happy life, is because to me, in this relationship and in many other relationships that I've observed, I've noticed that's a common theme, that the husband just kind of is okay with letting shit go. Now, I will say there's a lot of men I know that will never do that.
Mm.
Why we always gotta do what you want to do? Like that would be their stand. And then it causes friction. And I'm not even going with the flow or kind of like doing whatever you want to do to avoid friction. It's
truly like naturally what you would do.
It's just truly like, you want to go there? Cool, let's go. Like I'm so, I don't know where I get it from. People ask me, people DM me this all the time. It's like, how are you just like so just like easy flowing? I don't know. I don't know, but
works for me.
Yeah. But I am glad that we're not both like me, because a lot of shit wouldn't be, the way it is, or there's.
Yeah, there's pros and cons to everything.
Yes.
So I think we balance each other out, but it's still important to be mindful, as we obviously like discussed in this episode, of, how much like does one person compromise compared to the other. It's not going to be even, clearly, because one person also, I mean, I guess like compromise when you don't really care where to go is not really compromise. But basically, we're still going to probably go to more places that I choose to go than you do, because I just care more about that stuff than you do. But I have to be mindful that when you do express your wish of like, oh, I was really feeling like I wanted to get that one thing that I really like at that one place, but I was really like, damn, I'm really craving some pizza or whatever it is. I have to be mindful that it's like, okay, but most of the time we do whatever I want to do, and I always get my way, because Yoni doesn't really care that much in those times. But the one time that he does care, like, let's do what he wants to do. And then let me also, like, that's something that I have to be mindful of. So if that sounds like you, or if this sounds familiar at all, I hope that, I don't know, this like made sense to other people. Because and also, I think compromise doesn't have to be like a bad or dirty word.
No, it's not at all. It's just
it kind of, I don't know why it kind of comes off as that, or maybe I feel like that. It's like, you shouldn't have to compromise in a...
there's like a viral video going around. This lady, she's like, compromise for what? I shouldn't have to compromise anything. I don't know. It's like this lady, she's talking about, why should I ever compromise?
I think she might be talking about like other things. Like, no. I shouldn't have to compromise.
I shouldn't have to compromise for a man. Like,
yeah, but I mean, compromising in what scenario? Because in this scenario, is like compromising of like deciding that I want to go to the vintage store and you don't, versus compromising on bigger things like what city to live in, or what house to buy, or what car to get, or how many kids to have, like bigger things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Or like compromising in the sense of maybe she wants
I just
to like have like a specific type of man, but she compromised for it can get deeper with compromise.
It can.
Is what I mean.
But if you're in a relationship, in a partnership, whatever, marriage, compromising is something that is very, very, very important. I don't care on what level.
Yeah, I think
I don't care even on what side you stand on. You live with someone. You can't always get your way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So compromising and communication, I think, like if you have those two things,
yeah,
that's like the recipe for success, honestly.
And also I think that's something that you can, the way that we talked about it here is like, now I'm going to be more mindful of that the next time.
So next time,
and that's that's a good thing. Is like being aware of the things that you do, or of the relationship patterns that you've fallen into. And then when a person voices that they feel like they're being overlooked, or that we always do what you want and we don't do as much of stuff that I want. But
then the one time we do this thing that I want, and then
you let me know that you didn't want to do this shit. It's like, that's unfair.
Yeah.
That's totally unfair. And that's something that, you got to be aware of. Compromise is going to happen anytime, especially once you have kids. One person's going to want to do this with their kid. The other person, it's like you're going to
wake up more often?
Well, it depends at what point in the child's life.
Probably me.
Well, I mean, I'm going to have to wake up to feed the baby. So after that, when they no longer need this, you're going to have to take care of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I think is fair.
Yeah.
Anyways, thanks for listening. I think this was a cool episode.
Yeah, so much for 25 minutes, right?
Yeah, we're just incapable of doing that.
Yeah, I think the first 15 minutes we didn't really get to the things we wanted to get to.
Yeah, it was like the first 10 minutes we were just talking about like glasses and hats and stuff.
Yeah. If you got to this end of it, wow, I always mess up that part.
If you got to the end of the episode,
if you got to the very end of this episode and you're listening to this or watching this on YouTube, let us know in the comments what you think about. It's not a word like we usually do. Just let us know what you think about this specific topic.
Yeah, let us know if it resonated with you, if you have any stories or like specific scenarios, maybe if you had realizations while you were listening to this episode.
You want them to put their stories in the comments?
I don't know. I mean, just give us a brief like, I totally like do this thing where my husband and I or whoever.
Yeah, basically let us know what you think about this episode. You can either, if it's too long, you can also just DM us on Instagram. If you're listening on Spotify, there's a Q&A at the bottom of each episode.
It's so funny the way that you talk about all this stuff. You do like at the end, it's like, if you listen to the podcast.
And if you, it's my radio voice. Yeah. And if you listen to the podcast on Spotify, please answer the Q&A at the end of this episode.
And also follow the podcast if you are not subscribed.
Yes, you have to follow the podcast.
So that you don't miss any episodes, especially because there's a new update on Apple Podcasts, if that's where you listen, where the episodes don't automatically download. So even if you follow us, you might not have it like in your queue. So just make sure that you like keep up to date and follow us on What's the Juice Pod on Instagram. And
all the links in the bio.
Yeah, everything is in the description of this episode also. Yes. But we appreciate you guys. Shout out to all the dogs, because I feel like we haven't said that in a minute.
Shout out to your dogs. Yeah, I know. We miss all the dogs. Thanks for everyone who got a shout out to your dog merch. Anytime I see someone tag us in that, I'm like, this is pretty awesome.
Yeah. And we, I mean, as we've said many times, we're getting close to the end of the year. We're getting close to the end of season 2 of WTJ.
Can you believe this is the end of season 2?
I mean, can you believe we're almost at 100 episodes?
To me, it's crazier to wrap up 2 seasons than thinking of 100 episodes.
Yeah. I mean, both are crazy. No, each episode has like 50 something.
Yeah, and there's some people who've been listening from the very, very beginning.
Episode 1, which was social anxiety. We all remember.
Which was social anxiety. I love
that episode.
I want to go back to the social anxiety episode and listen to it, because I feel like I was so bad in it. Like when we first started the podcast, I did not know how to speak.
Oh, those days. I remember.
Oh my God.
There was so many. I remember those episodes had like hella edits.
Yeah. No need to highlight that. All right, guys. I'm going to bed. I woke up at 5 a.m. this morning. I'm tired.
It's 10 p.m. Perfect time to go to sleep right now.
Yeah. And also, I just want to plug in. If you haven't followed my podcast, Far From Home, I have to say it. If you go on Apple Podcast or Spotify and just search Far From Home, you will see my photo there. It's my podcast that I started.
We are 6 episodes in.
5 episodes.
Well, with the intro, 6 episodes.
Oh, with the intro, yeah. I have 6 episodes out, and basically I speak about my journey in New York as a photographer, as an artist, what I'm going through, what I'm thinking about. I think the very last episode that I dropped yesterday was really, really good.
Yeah, honestly, I think every single episode so far has been really good, really insightful. And yeah, I think it's like a really cool perspective that I haven't heard anyone like share.
Mm-hmm. And I'm getting like good feedback. So shout out if you listen to this and you also listen to Far From Home. I really appreciate that, because that's a very it's a very vulnerable space for me, because
I'm not there.
Yeah, and I'm by myself. I'm recording, and usually I record when Ali is not here, so I can really get. For some reason, I can't.
Yeah, he kicks me out of the house.
Yeah. And I just really open up about everything that we don't talk about here. You know what I mean? So
we appreciate y'all for supporting us. And with that said, we're going to say good night, or have a great rest of your day.
You know what's funny? At the end of each episode, when you close out, you do this thing with your hand.
I do.
Your hand. You're like, so with that being said.
We all do our thing.
Okay.
All right. But we love you guys. Talk to you later, alligators.
I hate when people say that, but okay. Bye.
Bye. Bye.